Hi, beautiful people. Okay, so me and God had made a deal, and when I was an undergrad, I was so tired. I was so overwhelmed. I was so not balanced, and I was like, man, even if I got into school, God, I keep hearing about how horrible it's going to be and how nasty. And him and I were just like, do I really want this? Do I really want to bark like I want it? No. And he was like giving me answers like piece by piece. When I was applying, God kept giving me like, do this, do this, do this, like breadcrumbs almost. Like, because if he gave you everything all at once, you probably wouldn't do it. Like, if I would have known the things I would have gone through to get to this point, I'd have been like, on God, I'm good. I'm good. Don't you worry about it. I was just kidding about what I desire. It's cool. And I know for a fact there's still more to come. But pieces, man, what part of your situation are you in? Like in your current season, maybe, just maybe, he's asking you to do something else. Like maybe it's not that you're inconsistent, but maybe what you're consistent in is not where you should be. And I feel like it feels like that's a lot, right? But me, when I was applying, it was just like, I got to get to this networking event. I got to put myself in these rooms with these people. I have to talk to this doctor. I have to get this contact. And I have to be seen, I have to be seen, I have to be seen. And I had such an energy and such a desperation to get to vet school that way. I didn't even realize like what I was doing. Like, desperation is never a good space to be making decisions. It's never a good space to be networking, and it's never a good space to be doing honestly anything, unless you need to survive. Okay, that's a whole different topic. But when you're going for something outside of survival, desperation becomes almost a hindrance to what you're supposed to be receiving. While I was applying for school and I kept getting rejected, it was like he told me one day, it was like, I'm not gonna let you get into school. You can't even figure out how to eat well. You can't even figure out how to eat well, my love. He's like, look at how you're dealing with this stress. Look at how you're handling this. Like, there's no way I'm gonna let you do anything, and you can't even take care of the temple I gave you. And I was like, bet, cool, that's a piece. That's fantastic. I will do that. And so I put the work in, lost the weight. I am a lot more disciplined than I was, and I still kept getting rejected. And it was like, you gave me a piece, and now you're telling me I don't. That's not it. He's like, I actually want you to get a bit better with saying no and setting boundaries. I was like, no, how's that one? And he's like, silly girl. And I was be put in these situations where I had to say no for the sake of myself, for the sake of moving forward, for the sake of feeling safe, for the sake of just being me. And he was like, yeah, you're gonna actually need that when you get into school. You're gonna actually need that everywhere. And I was like, okay, piece number 2. Ooh. And then he was like, yeah, not yet, my love, not yet. And it kind of goes like that and goes like that. So it just makes me wonder, like, for you in your situation, like, what piece has been revealed to you already? Like, there's probably something you have had that you can't let go of, or like something he's been telling you to do, or something you feel like conviction of. Let's say you don't believe, but you have this like desire to keep doing something, keep going for something, and there's like something in the middle that's kind of like won't let you pursue it or go forward in that way. Hopefully this makes sense. I'm gonna call that like a piece. I say we call that a piece. and you have to win and do what you're supposed to do, what you think you're supposed to do with that piece. Even when it came to like Amazon, when I was delivering packages, I had to change my mindset. Like I'm doing this because I need the additional money, and it's a blessing to be able to give myself supplemental income. And like changing your perspective, even maybe that's the piece. Like maybe you need to work on how you're speaking to yourself, or how you're looking at your situation, or how you're speaking aloud. But maybe that's the next piece that you have to get a bit of a hold on. And our God's so amazing, the universe is so amazing that you don't have to be perfect at it. He just needs to know that you are fundamentally committed to doing it differently. Because there's so many things that I'm actively working on that I'm fundamentally committed to doing differently. And I've been blessed. I'm continuously being blessed because He sees our heart. And what is it, like The Alchemist I just got done reading? The whole universe conspires for you to achieve your personal legend. This YouTube is another thing where I was asked to do this, y'all. I was asked to do this YouTube like 2 years ago. And I was like, absolutely not, God. That doesn't make sense. That makes no sense. I have just been rejected from, no, I don't know, maybe 15, 16 schools. And you're telling me to make a YouTube about getting into vet school? Well, that just seems silly. And now, 2 years later, I'm playing like, I don't want to say catch up, but I'm delayed with the obedience. And I'm just like, oh, that was a piece. That was a piece. Like, that was a piece. So it's okay. Like, God's going to meet you where you are. And maybe this video found you in a space where you're just like, shoot. Here's some random woman on YouTube validating what I felt like I was supposed to do in the first place a year ago, or yesterday, or today. It doesn't really matter. But go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and try. Go ahead and try. And know that where you're going to get there regardless. But there are some things in the seasons of waiting that will allow you to be able to sustain yourself in the season you're desiring to go to. And it starts with the piece. What are you doing with the pieces, okay? So I think people are trying to come in here, but for now, that is it. I will talk to you guys later. Beautiful people, you got this. Start with the piece. Start with the piece. Start with the piece. And know that everything starts off small until it isn't. Okay? Bye, babes.